Does that work? Sorry. Yeah, that should work now. Sorry. Sorry. Oh, I don't need to shout anymore. I don't need to shout anymore. It's okay. It's okay. We've corrected the situation. Nobody needs to worry. Right, is everything okay? Can people give me a thumbs up? Probably really loud now, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, so that's who's in there. We've got Shelster Rooney, I think, has just joined there. Is it a silent movie? Yeah, alright, whatever. Oh, great. I've not done that in a while. Sound, dude. Oh, is it still not working? Or is that maybe a comment just coming through a bit later on? I don't know. Anyway, people will tell me. Let's see. Let's see if there's... It looks on my... sound... it looks on me... Open Broadcaster software, whatever it's called, OBS. It looks like it's fine. Yeah, we can hear you. Oh, good. Yeah, it's working. Good. That's cool. Thought it would be. George Ross is in there now. We just had a little technical malfunction, I should say, George. I always want to say malfunction, not malfunction. But anyway, it's weird how some words are created. You know, some words I always think to myself seem weird how they are written and how you pronounce them. I always think, why didn't someone change a letter in a word to make it sound better or flow better, in my opinion? But yeah, right, so today I wanted to talk about, well, first off, I want to talk about, I've been putting out content loads recently, so I hope you've been finding it useful. I think I've done a video a day for the last 4 days or so, maybe 5 days, and that is good for me. You know, you guys, you know, you regulars of the channel, you know that is really good for me. So, yeah, I've been trying to put out a bit more content recently. I'm gonna do a video on Monday because something fairly special is happening on Monday, although I don't know whether I'm gonna be able to get any footage of the actual event that's happening. Although I can maybe try and wheedle a little bit. I might be able to, I might not. I'm not sure at the moment, but certainly I can film the aftermath and stuff like that for you anyway. So it makes it sound like a disaster movie, that aftermath. But no. So there'll be a good video. I'll record it. The event's happening on Monday. The thing that I'm talking about is happening on Monday. So obviously the video might be up Tuesday, Wednesday time, something like that. But yeah, that would be really cool. As I say, it's to do with my sort of new sourcing strategy and things like that. So that's going to be good. I wanted to say as well, I've got a, one of those, what do you call it? It's like a phone holder for your car. But what it does is it like grips on, it suction cups to your windscreen. And then it's got like a long thing on it so you can adjust it like wherever you want, you know. So, hopefully that's alright. It only cost me about 2 or 3 quid, so I don't know whether it's going to be any good or not, but we'll see. Because I want to try and do a few more videos in the car. I know a lot of other people do videos in the car and things like that, and I just feel like it's quite cool. It's quite cool to do videos like that. Obviously, I hope it doesn't affect my driving, or I will make sure it doesn't affect my driving, I should say. And that's why I'm getting this suction cup thing, so I'll just click the record and then I can focus on the road and just talk at the same time, really. But yeah, I do want to do that, so I've got that. Also, what else have I got? Oh yeah, also my like little phone clip thing is broken in the other room that I used my phone on, so I've got another one of them, but that'll be fine. So that's why yesterday's video was downstairs, because I had to find a place to put my phone without the stand, so I had to put it on the mantelpiece downstairs, but that's okay. So we'll get sorted in the next few days anyway. But yeah, also what else did I want to talk about? Also got the first car boot of the year. I'll answer some questions in the chat as well in a minute, but I just wanted to make sure I've covered most of the things I want to say, because I always forget, you know, comes to the end of the chat and I forgot what I wanted to say. So sorry, I've still got this sniffles as well. I thought it would have been gone by now, but it's still there, although the sore throat is gone, so that's good. But what I wanted to say was, I've got a first car boot of the year on Sunday, so I'll be going to that, which it'll be, I want to say really good because I want to be optimistic for it. And I know that if I say it's going to be really bad, then it will be really bad just as a knock-on effect because I'm not being positive. But it really isn't a very good car boot. It's just an indoor one. The competition level is insane, like way beyond anything you've ever seen. It's like, it's a fairly, it's not that big of a hall or anything. It's like a council hall. It's in a council hall. And it's not really that big of a hall, but it looks quite big. And you've got like 20 or 30 stalls there. And the level of people, like the level of buyers is insane. When you walk in, there's like a massive queue. It's like a massive queue first off that sometimes even goes out of the door of the council building. And then what happens is you all flood in and then it just gridlock. Like, imagine like a load of cars on a road just completely gridlock. It's like, that's what it is, but for people in the car boot. So you just, if you get in early, it's not so bad. But if you're later on, if you get in like, maybe you're halfway down the line or 3/4 of the way down the line, it's terrible. When you get in, you just like gridlock. You don't know where to go. You just can't go anywhere. So yeah, I'm trying. Maybe if I get there really early, if I'm one of the first in the line, it should be okay. And then I can pick some stuff up. But yeah, so there's that. And then I can't wait. I've been getting real itchy feet this week for the outdoor car boots. I'm really getting itchy. I want to get back out there. I want to get back to the car boots. And you know, don't get me wrong. It's been a great break. I've really enjoyed, you know, not going to the car boots and getting up on a Sunday a bit later and all that sort of stuff. But when you're in this job and you really love what you're doing in this job, specifically, you know, let's say you're sourcing from car boots, it becomes an addiction. So much so that with, you know, going without it for a few weeks really does, like, it makes you, it's like I've got like claws and I want to be scratching myself because it's like, you know, you want to get back at, it's like an itch you can't scratch, you know, it's, you want to get back out there, you want to be out at the car boots. I mean, I've been doing auctions and that ties in nicely with the topic actually, but yeah, I've been doing auctions and that satisfied it really well because obviously I can get quite a lot of stuff from auctions, but at the same time, you know, it's not the same as a car boot. If you saw my live stream yesterday, it was called Uncle Peter by Andy Robinson. Peter Way says, right, I'll just quickly go up the chat. We've had quite a few people in. Oh, we've got who's that in there? We've got Smart Reselling. We've got we've got Blitz, which is Simon. Our car boots don't start till March. Same here, really. I mean, well, there's this indoor one that, as I say, I don't really like being negative about it because I know that if I am negative about it, as I just mentioned, I might not pick that much stuff up. But if I'm being totally honest, it's not the best car boot. I'll say that. On Sunday, if I put my work in, if I'm really quick going round, if I'm on it, I will get some good stuff. But it's not the same level as the outdoor car boots. It's so far off that level. So yeah, but this one goes on till about February, March time, and then the bigger ones start up like, yeah, at the sort of mid to end of March, and then the bigger one round near me, I think it's like kind of still going on, but it's like not worth going to. You know, like it's still going on, but like no one goes, or you know, some weeks it might not even happen. But yeah, I think that the end of March sort of time will be the time really. But you know, you've just got to, with this time, you've just got to get what you can. You've got to do all you can. You've got to go to auctions. You've got to change things up. You've got to go to charity shops more, and you've got to just kind of source in everywhere you can other than car boots, because then it'll basically help you get enough stuff to see you through this time. I always feel like sort of October, November, December for me is a very, very happy time because not necessarily because sales are booming or whatever, but because I've got a nice backlog. What I do, my business model is I kind of, for Amazon, not for eBay, but for Amazon, I keep stuff back for Q4. So I'm constantly listing in Q4 for Amazon stuff, and I'm listing eBay stuff because I seem to always have eBay stuff or some eBay stuff. And I'm listing that, and it's all happy and great. And then you know, January comes and you do get a bit of a January blues, because now I've not got that much stock, especially for Amazon. Like, my Amazon inventory has dwindled massively. I was up at about 460, 470 items, you know, sort of when I was sending stuff up to Amazon, sort of mid Q4, like November. But throughout December I was selling like crazy. I sold 33 units in one day, which was pretty crazy for me on there, and then obviously that's massively affected my inventory in a positive way, because, you know, it's like I've sold that stuff and I've got rid of it, and that's exactly what I wanted to do. But also now I'm in the position, like in January, I've got like 200 items up there, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to replenish my inventory. And because the car boots aren't on, and that's my main source of Amazon FBA inventory, you know, charity shops are okay, and I get some decent sealed media and stuff from there. But unfortunately as well, for whatever reason, the charity shops haven't been performing for sealed media. So now I'm like, oh god, what do I get? You know, where can I find some stock for Amazon? So I've got that burden now. I don't really want to snipe it, because if I snipe it, I'm paying up, you know, or I'm paying a higher amount, and I don't really want to do that, because then that's negatively going to impact my cash flow, and we're coming into the car boot season. I don't want to negatively impact my cash flow at this time. I don't mind negatively impacting it, you know, in July, August, before the run up to Christmas, because that's when you want to be investing heavily. But at this time I don't want to like go, you know, buying loads and loads of stuff to replenish my Amazon inventory when, you know, I've got the car boot season around. And and the other thing is, like, I could spend a lot of money on Amazon stuff on eBay, and yes, I'd make good money on that, but also some of it might take longer to sell and stuff, and I have to build up my inventory again for a high cost. But then I think to myself, but I could probably get all that stuff in the car boot season for like 10 times cheaper, or like, you know, minimum like 3 or 4 times cheaper, because eBay sniping is quite hard. So you know, well, not hard, but it's, I mean, it's like quite expensive. So yeah, I don't know, but I've got to look at Amazon items really. Don't do videos while you're driving. How come loads of people do videos when they're driving? It's, you know, it's like, I understand the reservations, I really do, but to me, like when I was in the car the other day, was it Tuesday, and my mum was filming and I was there, I felt much more relaxed, and I've spoken, you know, a few weeks back about, you know, sometimes I don't feel that comfortable driving. You know, sometimes I don't feel like I've got to the insane level of comfortability that certain other people might have with their driving yet. But when I was you know, being filmed, I wasn't necessarily thinking about being filmed. I was just concentrating on the road and rambling while I was, it's like talking to a passenger, that's what it is. And I was just rambling like I would to a passenger while watching the road, and that automatically made me feel so much more comfortable driving in the car, you know, all fine. And I think it's just that sort of just talking, just like getting things out there, just sort of like it's almost venting. It's like venting in a way, but it's hard to explain. But it just felt it just made me feel really comfortable in the car like that. So I think I understand what you're saying about, definitely it can be a hindrance. Like if you're there, like you're driving, there's the road, and you've got the camera there, and you're just like doing that. I mean, I do that because that's how I drive with the adaption, but you'd be like that. But I drive with one hand like that, so that's why I'm doing that. But yeah, and your camera's there, and you're just doing this, talking, and you're driving like that. That is no way, no good. But I will never do that. I'll always be concentrating on the road, and I don't see the problem in it as long as you are focused on the road and you're just rambling like you would to a passenger. It's when you're like looking away and you're like more focused on the video than you are the driving, that's when it gets you a little bit. But yeah, I was fine. I was very, very comfortable in the car, and even my mum said to me when we rolled up at home, she said, you know, I felt really comfortable, you know, in the car with you when you were, you know, even filming me. She noticed basically that I felt more comfortable driving with the camera than without. It was very, very strange. It's very odd. Now, my dad is very focus. Like he's like he's at his best when he's got a lot of pressure put on him. So my mum said to me, I think you might be like that. The more pressure you have put on you, or seemingly the more things that are going on, the better you perform. Certain people are like that, you know. Certain people sort of have a few things put on them at once, or maybe a few deadlines to meet in the future for essay writing or whatever it is, and they feed off that pressure. So I don't know, maybe it's something to do with that, but yeah. Afternoon everyone, got ads on mute again while customers in. Oh, I thought that made me panic a little bit then, because I thought, oh god, am I on mute again? Have I messed up the mic? But we're okay. Right then, oh god, I'm probably way behind on the chat here. One sec. What ad is feeling like Alan Partridge singing in the car as Alpha? Oh, I love that. I love that scene where he's in the car and he's singing. Is it Roachford, Cuddly Toy? Oh, that is a class scene. And I swear there's like a young guy going past, and then he's looking at him or something, like in disgust, and then Alan Partridge is just singing, like, and then he sort of like slowly tones it down a little bit, like, oh god, I'm so embarrassed. That was so funny, that scene. I always remember that scene because that is the first time I heard Roachford, Cuddly Toy, and I really do like that song. So yeah, I always remember, don't know about you, but I always remember the first time I hear a song, and I always associate people with songs. So there's certain people that I've met throughout my life who have had an impact on me in some way, and they, let's say they tell me the name of the song, like whoever it is that's told me the name of the song, like let me just give you an example, right? There is REM, Night Swimming. The first person to tell me the name of that song was someone I worked with when I was back at the auction house, and I always remember them every time that song comes on because that was the first person to tell me that song, and I always associate that person with the song. REM, Leave. First person to ever make me aware of that song was actually Nick Hills on YouTube, and every time that song comes on my iPod, on my iPhone, I remember, I associate it with Nick. So, and like Minnie the Moocher by the Blues Brothers, or Cab Calloway if you want, you know, whichever one, or the Blues Brothers and Cab Calloway. But the person I associate that with is, again, someone I worked at the auction house with. We were on it was my first ever works due. And I've only ever had 2 works dues because obviously I'm self-employed now. But it was my first ever works due. And I remember that night, and I asked one of my colleagues at the time, I said, what's this song? It's a really good song, you know, I've never heard it before. And he told me the name of that song. I went home after that night, well, sorry, it would have been the next day actually. The next day, I researched that song, Minnie the Moocher, and every time that song comes on, I associate it with him. I don't know whether that's the same for you guys, but I kind of do that. And now I forgot what I was even talking about in the first place, but yeah, it's I'm a Barbie Girl reminds me of David McGregor. No, you know what reminds me of David McGregor? Songs like Aqua, like if Aqua, what's it? Oh, going to Ibiza that makes me think of David McGregor, and you associate. It's very, very odd. It is weird how it works. If anyone associates me with a song, I'd like to know what it is. That'd be pretty funny. If I was to associate myself with a song, oh my god. I personally, I went through a very, very heavy Barry Manilow phase, so I think for me, really, it would be something like Copacabana. I would kind of associate myself with that quite a lot because I learned all the lyrics to that song. I absolutely loved it. It was great. Well, it is a great song, sorry. And that would probably be one to associate myself with just from prolonged exposure to it, really. Venga Boys, Venga Bus, good old Roachford, just about remember buying his album before Ads was born. Funny. This is your life with Ads. I know, you know what we could get on Thursday? We could change Thursday Talk to like something like this is, you know, that sort of style, and then we could just like randomly talk about experiences and music and, you know, funny stuff. I think it'd be a great little show. Because I mean, everyone says that YouTube is becoming the new TV, so it would kind of just be like a new TV show. But yeah, it's cool. Just had a lowball offer on Playmobil, £30. It's a $69.99 item. Give me another offer. Just a little bit. Oh no, he's putting lyrics in there now. Bloody 30 quid. Yeah, 30 quid from 70 quid. I think the lowest offer I've had on a high value item, I think I had an item up for about 300 quid and I got a 50 quid offer. But I mean, on lower value items like 10 quid items, I've had like £1 offers or like 50p offers. Absolutely terrible. So what was I going to talk about? The other thing I wanted to talk about, I'll just quickly go through the chat again, so I just see if there's any questions. That's what I meant. Just don't be the one touching your phone while driving. I won't be the one touching my phone, for God's sake. I won't. If it falls off, I'll wait. If my phone falls off, the little thing, I'm just waiting. I'm just leaving it until I get parked up, and then I'll put it back, and then I can record again. If anything happens, I'm not touching my phone. I'm not doing any of that. I am the safe. Well, I say the safest driver. I don't want to say I'm the safest driver because I'm not, but I am the most cautious driver. Let's say I don't like going 70. I'm on the bypass. I'm like the guy who goes 50 miles an hour on the left-hand lane. Like, oh God, no, I don't want to go faster. You know, I mean, people get to come up to me and then they're like, oh, what's this joker doing? And then go round me because I really don't like going 70. I do feel like on the motorway, fine, go 70, whatever, but I feel like these bypass things, why can't they just be 50? Like, 50's enough for me, you know. I don't like going like boom right down them, or you know, you see these boy racers going like 80 down them, and that is just insane. You know, it's illegal, but it's insane as well. You know, so I'm like one of those drivers. I'm very cautious, you know, and I think that the reason for that is because my grandma is quite a cautious driver, and when I was younger, I was in the car a lot with my grandma, and obviously I picked up that she was a cautious driver, and that's made me now a cautious driver, maybe. But yeah, I might be getting so much stick for this, because everyone might be in the comments saying, "Oh, you're one of them idiots who go like so slow," you know. But anyway, you know, that's just how I am, you know. At least I'm not going like mega fast. It's got to be it must be something good from going slow rather than fast. But I've heard a lot of people say, you know, equally going slow as a driver can be just as dangerous as going fast, you know. So I don't know whether there's any truth in that, but yeah. Right, where are we? Filling up your storage unit ads, Peter A says. Very good question. It relates to the topic at hand. You can see, I'll just check here. You can see on the title I've put Thursday Talks episode 106. That's the other thing I need to mention. It's not episode 106. It's either episode 104 or 105, but I've messed the numbers up again. But I mean, you try and having a show that you've done for over 100 weeks. It's so hard to get the numbers right. Like, it should be the simplest thing ever. Just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, and so on. But after a while doing it and then forgetting what the last week was, and then not going back on my channel to see which one it was and just guessing, then that makes the numbers go all weird. So I think I got to about 70 or 80, maybe 90. I think it was about 90, and then I think the numbers went off slightly. So I think we might be like 104 or 105. And if that is the case, then the 100th episode, I don't think was the 100th episode, but I don't know. It might have been, it might not have been. You know, if someone has a time, I'm not requesting you do this, because I'll do it if you want, but if you have the time, you know, it'd be really interesting just to go back for all the numbers and just check for me what sort of order we're in and stuff. But I don't know, it might be, you know, it might be 106. I don't know, but I think it's 104, 105. I don't know what ads drives, but if you look carefully, the worst drivers are Nissan Micra drivers. No, I'm not a Nissan Micra, Ford Fiesta, so I don't know. Is ads time traveling a game? This is episode 204. but it's 106. What day is it? You're just frying my mind now. I don't know. I don't even know what you're going on about. But anyway, I'll answer Peter's question now. I'll grab my cup of tea as well. Yeah, so the title says Buying Big and first car boot 2018. I nearly said 2017 there. And basically, I did an auction yesterday, and I've got a new plan in place that I will reveal on Monday in this video. You know, I'll make you wait a little bit. There's a great thing in show business, isn't there? There's a great saying, always keep them guessing. And I've watched a few different YouTubers actually who quite annoyingly cut the videos off. They don't do an ending to the video, so they'll just like cut it off, and then you have to wait till the next day to find out what happens. And that, I believe, is because they're employing, you know, keep them guessing, the keep them guessing kind of attitude towards YouTube and show business and things like that. And so therefore, yeah, I'm just going to do that. I'm going to keep you guessing till Monday. But I have bought about 24 boxes worth of stuff from the auction yesterday. That will obviously be getting put in my storage lockup, so that'll fill it up a good bit. Not all the way full or anything like that, but it'll fill it up a good bit. And yeah, it should be a good day on Monday. It should be interesting to do a video on, if I can do a video on it. And certainly it will make me understand that as well, that I'm doing reselling in a bigger way, in the better way, in the bigger way that I wanted to do it in, you know, that I've been wanting to do it in for a while. So yeah, it's quite good. But the thing is, I'm focusing, I don't know whether this is going to be perfectly, you know, what I want, because I am focusing on buying big in terms of a sense in buying quantity and not necessarily quality. Now, that can work out perfectly fine, you know. Whether it's more work is an argument. Yeah, okay, it might be more work. But that's why I'm like hesitant still. I'm thinking I've got this big haul. I'm gonna see how I do with this one. See what sort of you know, see what sort of items are in it. You know, I mean, I know what items are in it, but there's always other items that you've not seen in the boxes, you know, in the auction boxes. See what sort of level of sales value I'm getting out of it compared to my cost and things like that. And we'll see, and see how much time I'm putting into it as well. Because I might go back to doing a bit more quality, but what I might do is do like quantity and quality. I've not explored that too much yet. But certainly with this haul, it is a lot of quantity for quite a little cost, and it has been what I've been saying for quite a while that I want to do. I've been saying, you know, maybe not on Thursday Talks, but I've been saying to various different people in my life that I want to get a lot for a little. I want to spend 200-300 quid, and I want to get boxes worth of stuff. You know, I want to fill 2 cars for, you know, 200-300 quid. And that's what I've done this week. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if that's the kind of business model I want to continue and follow. Or whether, as I say, I want to split it. I want to do some quantity, but some quality. I don't know, but it's interesting to find. And you've always got to be moving in different directions. Always got to be trying different things. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. But that answers your question, Peter. So I am getting to fill up the storage unit, and it's not just going to sit there and be a dead cost to me or anything like that. Even funnier, ads driving around in a blacked out Hummer, pimp mobile. Oh my, I thought you said pimp mobile then, but mobile is in mobile phone, but pimp mobile. Storage unit update, please add. Yeah, I literally, that was really funny. I was giving it as you said that, or just after you said that. Question. Oh no, Sib K, don't keep asking that. Has Q4 changed? I don't know. I don't know. This year, I don't have a clue. I mean, it's so annoying. And I'm going to go back to the speculative debate again. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this debate. But again, at this point in time, I have the option to buy. I could buy a lot of Lego, and I could sit on it till Q4, and I could sell it on Amazon and let's say make 100% ROI, 80% ROI, something like that. I know that's quite high ROI for Lego, but do remember that I am waiting to get that ROI. If I sold it now, I'd be making like 20%, 30% ROI. But my thing that keeps going around my brain is, do I really want to invest like 1,000 or 2,000 in Lego to do that, knowing that halfway through the year Amazon could like shut me down on Lego, and then I can't, and then I have to sell it at what I bought it for on eBay, you know? So you know, it's such a debate. That's the debate I'm having in my mind right now. But if I don't go for it, I mean, the amount of money I could make would be really, really good, you know? But then again, you think in your mind, you know, why not just buy stuff from Carboot at the, you know, in the summer, and you'll make a much better ROI on that. You make hundreds and hundreds % on that. So I don't know, but I won't spend too much time on that debate. I talked about it weeks ago, about, you know, probably about 3 months ago now, but it is something I'm still debating, and if I don't go for it, I won't, you know, I'll probably regret it. But if I do go for it, I might regret it at the same time if, you know, something were to come in on Amazon like a restriction. But I don't know. I mean, theory is I could sell it on eBay for a very, very small profit. So in the end, I won't have lost money particularly anyway. But do I really want to tie up a lot of money to just end up making hardly any money back anyway? You know, I could have used that money to buy a lot more stock for a lot little cost. So I don't. It's so hard. This is a problem, right? I'm at the stage with my reselling now where I'm not worried about like the day-to-day sales. I'm not worried about getting the day-to-day inventory and things like that. And I'm not worried about kind of making a living month by month, or making money, you know, good money month by month. I'm more worried about making more money, you know, like scaling up that investment and trying to make more, you know, more than what is decent, you know, or more than what is minimum. And that's where I'm at with my reselling. And it's very hard. I'm trying to figure it out in my mind and decipher the best way, the most cost-effective way, the most time-effective way to actually get to that next level up, really. It is kind of like a video game. I mean, like, and I've heard so many other people talk about like reselling and business being like a game, you know, and you're trying to decipher these puzzles and try and get to the next level, you know, putting in the effort, putting in the time, you know, trying different things, trying different ways to break through to that next level, you know. And when I'm saying levels, I'm meaning kind of the amount you're earning in terms of net profit. So yeah, that's kind of the level I'm at. I'm at a comfortability factor with what I can produce each month, you know, in terms of sales. That's fine, and I'm pretty consistent with that now, and I have been for months and months and months. Like pretty much all of 2017 was consistent, so I have been for months and months and months. But now this year it's kind of like, well, how can I go the best way about doing it so then I can maximize it even more, you know? But I don't know. Okay, stop talking about Q4. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. Think I might choose Firewalk. Always stepping on my daughter's Lego. Oh yeah, that Lego Firewalk or something. Yeah, I've heard about that. Oh god, no, I wouldn't like to do that. Could have been worse, SibK. Could have been Doctor Who. Oh, you let yourself in for that one, Hitman. No, I did want to talk about Doctor Who. You've just reminded me. I won't ramble on it for too long, but I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, what? How, you know, how are you a Doctor Who fan if you haven't seen all the episodes? Well, I haven't seen any except for the specials, which are the 2 Doctors and the 5 Doctors, 1983 and 1986, I think, or 85. The 2 Doctors and 5 Doctors, I haven't seen any Patrick Troughton episodes. Now, granted, Patrick Troughton is the one that most of the missing episodes, you know, most of the episodes are missing for. But I never delved into it. But I watched Tomb of the Cybermen, and I watched, oh, what was the other one? The Dominators. And oh my god, he is a great Doctor, and he does not get enough credit. Like, the level of humour. The humour is kind of like modern, but it's not modern. Like, it feels very modern, even like from all those years ago, it still feels quite modern. And just the level of, you know, it is in black and white, but I'm used to black and white anyway with William Hartnell. But I just feel like it's really, really cool. Now, yeah, okay, the sets aren't that great. Okay, the costumes aren't that great. But you kind of have to look past that and think, well, you know, that was how it was at the time. That was what we were working with. And I just think, you know, the stories were really good. You know, the base story and the acting in general was really good, you know. And yeah, so I'm definitely going to be watching more Patrick Troughton stories. But yeah, you might be thinking, oh my god, he's not watched all the episodes, you know, he's not a Doctor Who fan completely or whatever. But no, I mean, most people haven't watched all the episodes. Well, everyone hasn't watched all the episodes because they are missing episodes. If you don't know, I think the BBC in the 60s or 70s, maybe 80s, I don't know, one of the three, they basically taped over old shows or did something like that because they had run out of storage space or something. It was something along those lines, and that obviously meant that some of the Doctor Who episodes, which were written over or whatever, were gone. You know, were absolutely gone. So therefore, we've got missing episodes in there, and like the one that I really want to see, and then I'll be done rambling about Doctor Who for today. The one I really want to see is Patrick Troughton, and it's the Macra Terror. We saw the Macra again in 2007. I think it was the third episode of series 3, which was Gridlock. And we saw the Macra again there, but I wanted to see them in that old episode as well, or that old serial, because I just feel like they would have had a little bit more, you know, fleshing out in that episode, a little bit more getting to know them, you know, getting to know the what they are, the Macra and stuff. But still, it was nice to get them in the modern series a little bit. But yeah, I do feel like we could have been used a bit better in the modern series, like we could have been talked about a little bit more. But anyway, I won't ramble any more about Doctor Who, I'm sorry. Right, so how's your cat, Ads? Oh, you always ask that. She's over there, she's fine, she's sleeping. She needs to go out though, because you know what, every time we don't let her out in the day, she at night time she goes wild, because she's not had that activity in the daytime, so I need to wake her up or something to get her out. I know it sounds mean, I don't normally wake her up, but if she stays asleep for like till like 4 or 5 o'clock and she doesn't go out, she's just gonna be wild all night. So I need to get her out at some point this afternoon. Cream eggs, Ads, discuss. No, I'm not gonna do that. No. I love Cadbury's cream eggs. Oh, that's actually funny. One sec. One sec. You little one. Oh, she's already up. All I did was move and she got up. Well, partially got up. You going back to sleep? Yeah, she's going back to sleep, I think. No, but you just discussed Cadbury, so I thought I'll show you these. I found these in that postcard lot. I bought a load of postcards. Pulled out a load of Disney ones. Now, they're not like real vintage ones. Well, actually, I'll show you them. May as well show you them. I think they're quite modern ones. You know, I mean, all of the postcards in this lot were like, you know, 20th century, like, you know, sort of latter part of the 20th century, so like 50s to like 90s, something like that. But I just took a punt on it. I don't think I'm going to make a lot of money, to be honest. I really don't. I think I'll be lucky to get my money back and a bit of profit. But I'm always for trying new things, so I thought I'd try it. But you got a load of these Epcot ones. I think it's about 20 all in all. There's Epcot Center in Disneyland. I think Disneyland Florida or something, I don't know. But you got a load of them, loads of different variants of them. Oh, didn't show you them properly there, but loads of different variants of them. I've just put them there. And then you got like other Disney ones. Ooh. I think these are the... Ah, here we go. So we've got Walt Disney World. You see that on there? Walt Disney World. I mean, it might be worthless. You don't know. Yeah, you know, I'd have to look. Probably not going to be a lot of money. Walt Disney World, the Vacation Kingdom of the World. And you got like, you know, all different nice little postcards. I think in a bundle there's got to be something. There's got to be something. Even if it's like a $5 or something, there's got to be something. But I don't know. But yeah, there's Walt Disney World there. So, and then we've got like, oh, we've got a few of the characters as well here. I don't know who they are. I don't think you'll be able to see them very well, actually, but they're just a random band of different characters there. And then you've got some sort of bear, and this is Disney World as well. And then you've got another Disney World one, just a random one. Quite nice though, looking, you know, nice little prints of them. Oh, and then you've got the outside of some sort of building there, because it's got the little Mickey Mouse on the grass there. You can see that on the grass there. I'm really finding it hard to go which way with this camera, because when I'm holding them up to the camera, I'm going the opposite way. Like when I go that way, it goes. Oh no, wait, it doesn't. What does it? Oh yeah, it does. No, it doesn't. It doesn't even go the opposite way. So I'm just struggling. That is one of the big castles. You can't see it very well, but it's one of the big castles. It does look really nice, like when I'm looking at it here, but you just can't see it very well on camera. But yeah, that's another Walt Disney one. And then you've got some sort of thing lit up. Oh, it's the castle. It's the castle lit up with the train. Oh, that's nice, with a little train in front of it. That's nice. Again, Walt Disney World. And then we've got the 7 Dwarves there. I don't know, might be nothing. Might be nothing at all, but I just thought they were nice. So, I always like pulling out nice things, you know, like just interesting things. You know, they don't necessarily have to be a lot of value. When I get an auction haul, whatever I'm drawn to, whether it might not have any value, it might have loads of value, but whatever I'm drawn to, I think, oh yeah, I like that. And then I end up going into it and doing a bit of research and things like that, and it's nice to do that. I really get a lot of enjoyment out of that side of the job, really. So yeah, that was those, and as I say, there was a couple of them Cadbury ones. I don't think them Cadbury ones are probably worth selling on the road. If there was like a big lot of them, you know, with postcards, with these modern ones, it tends to be you need a big lot of them, rather than like just 1 or 2. So I don't think they're worth selling on their own. But those Disney ones, there is about 20, 25, so I don't know, it might appeal to someone. I don't know. Ads, can you name the 7 Dwarves? Probably about 3. Dopey, Sleepy, Bashful, I'll get it in the end. 1 second. Let me check. Right, let me have a look at this. Dopey, Sleepy, Bashful. No, don't know what the others are. No, I don't know. I haven't a clue. Dopey, Sleepy, Bashful. No, I don't know. No, they're just gone. They're just gone. What's in Surrey? The auction place Hay went to. Sell the Cadbury's cards with some cream eggs just to put. Oh yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah, I suppose so. Could do. But is it still really worth it? I don't know. You know, like if I'm buying the cream eggs for money as well, then is it gonna just dash out any profit? As I say, if there was like a large lot of them, then it would be worth it. Where are I? It's like Ads is showing us his holiday snaps. Yeah, it does look like that. Ads, did Nick's auction haul make you jealous? It made me very jealous, and not just the auction haul, but the auction. I mean itself. Like I was looking at that auction, like, oh my god! Look, I watched them this morning. Actually, I've been doing a load of Lego sorting here. And I watched them this morning, and oh my god, the amount of stuff that is in there, it's just crazy. So, yeah, it was. I'm extremely jealous. I think not even just the level of new stuff, but just the level of stuff in general, whether it's used, broken, new, whatever. There was just so much stuff there, or antique stuff, or whatever. There was just, it blew my mind how big that auction was. I mean, I think some of the auctions around here, you know, with maybe upwards of 1,200 lots, you know, they're pretty big. You know, half of the auction I don't even look at because it's like big, bulky stuff or stuff that I don't want to deal with, like furniture and things. But So, like, I'm looking at maybe the first 500-600 lots. But, you know, I always think to myself, 1,200 lots, that's quite a lot. But they must have had loads of lots there, like tons and tons and tons. You know, spread over the 4 rooms. There must have been a lot of different things there. So, yeah, it did make me jealous, it did. What There's something about Electra a minute ago, but I can't. I'm trying to scroll up, but I can't even. Feeds her once a day. I do not feed her once a day. Strokes her occasionally. Lets her out at night. No, I don't feed her once a day. I feed her more than that. I don't know whether I should, but you know, should I? I don't know. My mum feeds her sometimes, and then I feed her sometimes, but she seems to be well fed anyway. I mean, she's not fat or anything. I just mean she looks content with the amount of food she's getting. So yeah. Hi all. Ads has auction envy. I do have auction envy. Yeah. And I want to say, Z, right? I was watching the chat today when I was doing this Lego story. You were like, I remember when you said, Ads used to work at an auction house, didn't he? And you said, for a little bit, and I was like, what? I was there for like 18 months. I know that might not be a lot, but God, 18 months was a long time for me. So I'm going to stake my claim on video that I was there for like 18 months, and that might not be a long time for a lot of people in jobs, but for me, God, that was a long time. But no, you said as well, actually, I can tell you on here, you said that basically, do I know any like goings on at the auction or whatever, or what happened? We had one time, well, I mean, this has happened loads across loads of different auction houses, but we did have like a few dodgy people, like someone, like, I don't know whether he actually did steal something, but we had to look at the CCTV camera and stuff like that. And the thing is with auctions, like, a lot of people will get like them jewellery lots out, you know, they'll pass it to you over the counter and they'll get them jewellery lots. Now, what happens in the auction house I used to work in is we were told to stay there right in front of the, you know, like right in front of a person when they're looking through the jewellery, and just keep an eye on them, like, you know, nonchalantly, you know, just keeping an eye on them and do it. Not like overbearing or anything, you know, looking at them constantly, but just keeping an eye on them, because that's where like people can steal stuff, in those jewellery lots and stuff. But also, I mean, people can just put like things from the other lots, like they can just put them in the pocket, you know, like there's loads of different you know, boxed lots that might have something small in, that might be made of silver, for example, or might be made of some sort of metal that's half decent. Because also what happens in the auction houses is when you don't just see silver in the cabinets. What the auctioneers sometimes do, if it's like a pretty crap piece of silver, let's say, but you know, it's not really worth going in the cabinet and there's nothing to associate it with to put it in a lot in the cabinet, what they'll do to like give the dealers a little bit of a surprise or whatever, is they'll just bung a little bit of silver in one of the box lots. And I will prove to you that they do that, because that happened to me this week. So this was in one of the lots. It's a silver spoon. It's about 22 grams, so scrap. It's like, I don't know, what's that, like 6-7 quid, something like that, 5-6 quid. But they put there, sometimes they do that because it's not worth going in the cabinets, because people generally at auction for silver are only going to pay like scrap price anyway, or maybe just above if it's a decorative piece. You know, okay, you've got collectors and stuff that might bid it up, but trade aren't going to pay like retail prices. So with that, if there's nothing to associate it with, they're not going to bung it in the cabinet knowing it'll only get like 3-4 quid or whatever. We just put things like that in the boxes. But can you imagine someone rooting through the box? Oh yeah, that's small. I'll quick, you know, whack that in the pocket. So yeah, that, you know, stealing is one with the auction house. You got to be careful of that. But when I was there, I didn't, you know, we were pretty. Well, not me in particular. I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah, I really did. Like I wasn't on the ball at all. But you know, some of the other full-time guys there, they were on the ball. They knew what they were doing. And, you know, you do have to be careful. And also not letting people in to collect their own lots was a big one. You mentioned actually in the chat that, you know, regulars will be let in and stuff. They would be let in, you know, but under supervision. And then they would go and collect their own lots. I'm allowed in, like, the place, because obviously I used to work there. So you know, they know me. I'm allowed to you know, get my own lots and stuff, and that's what I did last time I went to collect. But no, but like what we used to do is put a row of tables. So we had like the big auction houses here, and you have a row of tables down here. The customers come in this way, and the tables act as a barrier. And what we'd have is we'd have people like trying to sneak round the tables to get to the lots. They go, oh yeah, right. They'll say, right, they'll give you your sheet, right, and as the porter, you would go off and collect the lots. And while you're collecting the lots, they'll eye up that they know that one of their lots is over there. So then they'll sneak round the table a bit on, and then you're turning back, and then they just say to you, oh well, I just saw my lot here, I'm just getting it, and then you have to say to them, no, well, I'm sorry, you have to go back behind the tables and all that. But yeah, there's loads of different things that we were taught, you know, and obviously valuable pieces were kept away and all that sort of stuff, because it's very, you know, sometimes in you know, upper class auction houses, not the one I worked at was like really high end, like Harrods or whatever, not Harrods, Bonhams or whatever, but you know, the higher value pieces, certainly they have to be kept under lock and key. You've got to be careful with them. But sorry, she wants to go out, so I'm just letting her out. But yeah, so that's the information I got when I was there, really. But other than that, you know, we did have a few different things. Breakages is another one. I broke a couple of pieces while I was there. Nothing like high value, luckily. Well, there was one incident with a pot lid, but it never got resolved. Honestly, I swear on my life, I didn't touch it. And then there was a bit of debate between whether it was one of the other porters or whatever. Or we really didn't know what happened to it. I don't know whether it got broke or whether it went missing or something. But that was something that happened. And as I say, that was a higher value piece. But there was a couple of breakages. I'll admit to that. I admitted that to who was kind of my boss at the time. And that, you know, that happens, and there's got to be a procedure for that. But other than that, as I say, I can't really recall anything major that happened, you know. I've been told a load of stories by the guys there. I know that one of the porters, broke some, you know, when people have to hold them up to view, like, you know, people have to hold up the ceramic. You know, as the porter, you'll hold them up and show them to the room. Well, there was a story that one of the porters there ages ago was holding something up that was, you know, semi-valuable, maybe like 50 quid, something like that. You know, and that is quite valuable to a lot of people, but considering that some of the pieces in the auction might be 2, 3, 4, 5,000 or even more, you know, 50 quid isn't like a mega value item, but they apparently dropped them when we were holding them up in front of the entire auction. Oh my god, luckily I didn't do anything like that, but god, that would be bad. But yeah. So you've got to have procedures for that and stuff, but yeah, I think in terms of the like the customers, if they broke something, they'd have to pay for it. I don't think I got any money docked off my wages or anything like that for breaking pieces. As I say, luckily they were like really low value pieces in like job lots. So yeah, I don't think I ever got docked any wages for that. But if you broke a higher value piece, then yeah, of course, there's got to be some sort of disciplinary for that. But yeah, it's interesting. One of the porters at my local auction used to always drop boxes of stuff I'd bought when fetching them. He was like Frank Spencer. Betty. Yeah, I mean, some of the porters at my place when I worked there, they were older guys, and you could see they were kind of struggling a little bit, and you know, you could see that they needed to kind of just retire from it. Because the thing about being a porter is, and the one thing that it taught me, is that I have a lot of stamina. Like, the level of walking, the level of lifting, the level of like work you have to do. It's not like we would like we'd get in. It would only be like a 9 to 5 job, 9 to 5:30, but we would be on our feet. We would be doing stuff all day. Like, it, even, you know, we got our lunch hour obviously, but once that lunch hour was done, I actually myself would always start work at 1:45, because I was very a stickler for the rules. I still am. I don't like it when, let's say I've got a boss and they and let's say it's 1:05 and I'm not working. I don't like being told off by a boss. I don't like that. So I was always a stickler for rules. I'd be working at 1:45. I'd get my lunch. I'd make sure I'd go out. I'd get my sandwich or whatever meal deal or whatever it was. 12 o'clock, you know, 12:10. eat it, get back to work by 1:45, get into it. But I remember there was a lot of days there, but it was hard work. It really was hard work, and I do feel like having a biased opinion, being a porter, I do feel they don't get the credit they deserve, those porters. And I know, okay, sometimes they make mistakes and things like that, and as you've said, you might, I think it was Bumcrap Picker or someone said that obviously they might not have the best porter, and that might be an exception, but most of them are very, very hard working, very dedicated to the business, and do everything we can for their customers. And I really do feel like we don't get the kind of the credit that they deserve from the business, or from the customers sometimes. And again, dealing with, you've got that kind of thing of dealing with customers. Luckily, I never had a really, really bad customer. I had a couple of customers that were a bit hard to deal with, but I never had anyone really bad. Most of them were really, really nice, and obviously they could see that I was a younger guy myself, so I was new to it. I didn't fully know what I was doing, so they were always helpful in that respect. But yeah, it was a good experience. I feel like if I didn't have that, I would really struggle in my own business. But because I had, okay, it was only a very short time in the working world, but at least it was something, and at least it made me aware of how to be in front of customers. I mean, I got taught always say madam and sir, always be very respectful, always talk in a nice calm voice, and talking, don't never raise your voice or anything like that. No matter if they're raising their voice to you, always be courteous and give the best service you can, really. So without that, I wouldn't have been able to map that, that philosophy onto my eBay customer service when I'm responding to messages. And that's why I didn't struggle with the eBay customer service, because I got taught the correct way to be in front of customers, even if they weren't being the correct way in front of me. So, and that is a massive life lesson that you can take, you can take to the grave if you want to be a bit morbid about it, but you can take throughout your entire life. So yeah, anyway, I'll leave it there, I think. Well, Taskmaster is amazing, Sib. Nick says Nick is in. Nick, do your gold coin makers make Bitcoin? Hey, I tell you, God, yesterday was bad. It was like 9,000 it went to. Well, $9,000, but yeah, I've not got any Bitcoin now. I've pulled half that. Well, I pulled half of my Bitcoin out, and then I sold the other portion of Bitcoin for other different coins that I'm thinking are going to do a bit better. But what I wanted to do is lock out some of our profits from Bitcoin. I want, okay, yeah, I know it's like the worst time to sell possible, but I was at a good profit level anyway with it, and I wanted to, because I started buying in when Bitcoin was like £1,500, or $3,000. So even at 9,000, I was still doing okay. But I wanted to cover myself from some of that volatility. It's very, very stressful being in cryptocurrency if you have any sort of emotion with it. So I did want to I wanted to get most of my money out of it, so that then I'm playing with mainly profits, right? So now when I'm doing trades and stuff, if that money goes to zero, I'm not as bothered because I've cashed out my kind of my money. So yeah, it was a you could have said a panic sold a little bit, but I had to do it. I needed to get my money out of there and start playing with profits, really. And we'll see what those profits can accumulate over the next few months, when I'm trading and stuff. But I had to do it. I had to kind of, as I say, just give myself some comfort. Give myself some comfort in the fact that if my portfolio went to zero, I've not lost any of my original money, or much of my original money. So yeah, it was in a sort of a panic sell / educational move, or educational decision or informed decision in what I wanted to do in terms of to preserve my original capital. So yeah, I don't know, whatever you want to call it is fine. Trying a different language. They did some very funny tapes and original bedazzled. If you haven't seen it, check it out. What is always BitConnect folding did not help. Also, cabinet update. Well, I'll tell you something about BitConnect. They gave back all the tokens. They gave back all of the coins in their... basically, they gave us back our money in the BitConnect coin. And then what happened was the price went from 363 all the way down to like $5. So I cashed out my BitConnect coins. I've not sold them. They're in HIT BTC right now, and I am waiting for that price to go back up, because believe me, that price it's not gonna go to 363 again. But if I can get it to about $100, I've got 32 tokens, because it's already gone back up from $5 to almost $50. If I can get that to $100, get 3,200 out of my basically like in USD, so like £2,500, then I can cash that out. I'm really happy, because that will then be all profit as well, because the good thing is I got in BitConnect like early on, so I was lucky. And that is all it is. Like, I don't believe in luck, but I was lucky. I mean, I really was lucky with BitConnect. I got in early enough, which was so lucky, that meant that I could actually make money, like make profit off it. I got in I got in July 2017, so I was getting interest every day from then, and I could recoup my initial investment and get some out. But no, we're going to continue with the exchange. They're going to open back up the exchange again on their site. It wasn't a traditional exit scam like Control Finance. Control Finance was another site that basically guaranteed 1% a day. It was around for about 4 months, and then it just folded. The website went. BitConnect didn't do that. BitConnect did something a little bit more, a little bit less schemy, a little bit less scammy. They basically gave us back our money. The price then dropped. Now they're saying to us, we're going to open up the site. Well, they've already got the site open, but we're going to open up the exchange again, and we're going to try and get that coin value back up for us, so then we can sell at a higher price. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Where does Theresa May keep her China? I don't know. I don't know. I haven't a clue. Add cabinet chat, dude. Come on. I don't know. I've not checked my cabinet since like Jan. How many bitcoins would it take to hear some news about your cabinet? No, I don't know. I've not checked my cabinet. I haven't a clue. All I can say is that with regards to my cabinet, there is I've not had a phone call. You know, I've not had a phone call to say you can go in the antique centre now. So I'm assuming that, you know, they've not got a space for me in the antique centre yet. I think I've just got to wait. I mean, I'm seriously considering just pulling out of the cabinet and just selling stuff online, and then going back in when, you know, I've got a plan further down the line with revolving around my mystery project thing that will then allow me to go back into like a space like that. So I think I'm just going to pull out and then sort of wait till this mystery project comes to fruition, and then I can actually sell in a cabinet or in a booth or something like that, which will be in, as I say, about 18 months, something like that, maybe 16 months, something like that. So I think I'm just going to do that. But if they ring me within the next week or so before I go down there and say, you know, you've got a space in the antique centre, I will get in the antique centre and I will try and stay there for a month or two and pay my 31 quid or whatever it is, and just see if that helps me being in the antique centre opposed to being outside. And if it does, and if there's profit to be done in it, then I'm just gonna stay with it. I'm gonna roll with it. But I just don't know about them cabinets, you know. I think booths there's potential, but cabinets, I don't know. Cabinets, I'm really like beginning to wonder why people even rent them. But people must make money off them, because they're renting them in the antique centre for that 31 quid a month, and there's people who are renting like 5 cabinets at a time, so they must be making money from it. So I don't know. I really don't have a clue with it, but I've got to do something about it really. Cabinet update. Ads considers withdrawing from the cabinet. Yeah, definitely. Right then. I will get going because we've been doing just over an hour, so I'll leave it there, guys. Thank you everyone who joined me. There's a lot of people in the chat, a lot of buzzing going on, a lot of people, yeah, a lot of people sort of talking in there. So I will leave it there. Thank you everyone as usual for joining me, and I will be back very soon with another video. So, and obviously Thursday Talks next week as well, so be sure to tune in for that. It'll be same time as usual, like 1 o'clock. And yeah, I will see you very soon, guys.